Hello again, colleagues, and welcome back to ImpactEd. Steve, we hit 1,000 views on ImpactEd this week. 1,000 views. Thank you very much for the support. And look, and thanks for telling us that this is helping.
Yep. Actually, today, James, it hit 1,100, so that was a day later.
Okay.
It's amazing between our 40 schools just how quickly it's grown out there. But on the serious side, now that you're recognised as a social influencer, how are you going to stay grounded, and will you remember the little people?
Yes, I am one of the little people. Don't forget this. So are you, actually. Yeah, right.
Okay. On that note,
so a bit of a mixed bag today. This isn't part of the sequence, Steve, but we are at the juncture where lots of people have done the check-in assessments, and we are waiting on some important data to populate that. People have gone in straight away because the data was available straight away and are finding it very useful. But we don't have SSG data and we don't have state comparison data. And that is probably a little bit pivotal in us figuring out where we fit in the mix.
and I think, James, even just the fact without NAPLAN this year, the check-in assessment provides a great opportunity for schools to make an on-balance judgment against where they are.
Right. So we thought we'd just poke our nose into a little bit about the check-in assessments at first. And also, I've been getting a few requests for some more work around Excel. Now, you and I both know, Steve, as a school leader, if there was a tool that is more useful than all of the other tools, it's the ability to manipulate data in Excel. So I'll show you a couple of tricks with Excel, and we'll piggyback off the back of the check-in assessments.
I'll tell you a bit of cross-promotion. There's a great YouTube clip if you search creating dashboards in Excel. Absolutely fabulous for a couple of geeks like us.
Oh, okay. I haven't looked.
Yep. Let's start with today.
All right, let's stop there and let's jump into some Scout. So, Steve, the check-in assessments are in your Scout, but look, if it's not there to begin with, if you don't see the tile, I would go to My Apps and See All.
Yeah, exactly.
And you often have to do that for the first time you look at a tile. All right, so we've chosen check-in assessment, and here we are. Now, that's the data I'm talking about that's missing, the SSG and the state comparisons here.
And we know that it's coming very shortly, and that's great news that we're going to be able to have that.
So let's make a little bit of sense of this data at the moment. I've covered up the school, but this is Year 5 reading data, and you can see it's broken into processes, comprehension, and vocab. And you're given I'll just pause that video there. We've got 3 views here of your syllabus, either syllabus objective.
Question by stage.
Yes, how difficult comparatively the questions are. Stage 1 questions, Stage 2 questions, Stage 3. And then, of course, the third one there is by outcome. Here, below that information is the answers to the 40 questions in the test, and the blue and the pink refer to incorrect and correct. Now, I've gone to the 3 ellipses. My favourite part of Scout is that you can export it to Excel. Steve, once I click export, it generates a spreadsheet, and we can click on the spreadsheet in the bottom left-hand corner and open that on our desk. Now, you might want to save it straight away. Anyway, here's a bit of a trick. So we're going to just select the percentage correct down the centre of the spreadsheet. So what we're going to do here, having selected the percentage correct, we want to present this in a way that it makes it easy for maybe the AP or the principal to communicate that data to the staff.
Yep.
And so we're going to use colour to do that. And the trick we're going to use today is called conditional formatting. And you can see the arrows already up there on the bar at in the taskbar. In the taskbar. So we're going to select conditional formatting, and that will give you options. We're going to choose colour scales and the first one there. I'll just press pause there, because what that does is arrange the values in that column in a colour scale from the highest value being deep green to the lowest value being deep red. So you can see, and I've just paused it there again, so we get a sense, and actually if I advance that to a point where I minimise it a bit, I like to call this the squint test, Steve.
Yep.
So just by squinting your eyes, you can see straight away
Yep.
what the good results are and what the bad results are. And look, if you can do this across both tests, reading and numeracy, you'll get a sense of what it looks like. What about getting together with principals in your community of schools and put all three of your data sets side by side so you can compare notes about how you went? Now, I have done that work for all of Lake Macquarie West, if anyone's interested, until those SSG and state results turn up. So that's trick number one that we can do with the check-in assessment. So we're going back into cohort performance here, Steve, and we're choosing a question. We'll just choose one at random.
So we're going to go into one question and dive a bit deeper into it, James?
That's what we're doing here. Again, the trick here is to be able to present this sort of information to your faculty, to your staff. So, Steve, if I'm to pick on question 22, for example, choose that question, and I'll see you can't see behind the picture of us is a group of names. If I hit the ellipsis and export that data, it will deliver it in the standard way to our downloads folder so I can open it in Excel. So once I open that Excel, Steve, you can see I've changed the names of the students just to student 1, student 2. But the power of this view is that we can then amalgamate a number of questions side by side. We can look for common student names, and we can compare notes either between teachers on the same grade or, a group of small schools together, for example. One of the things that demystifies spreadsheets for me and makes them powerful in terms of communication tools is to use colour. We've been here before. We saw it with conditional formatting. I'm just highlighting this set of results here, these students who got this question incorrect. I can put that up on a whiteboard in the staff room now and instantly have a directed conversation without having to draw people's attention to the result. So again, just another Excel trick that just helps you to communicate and discuss data at a high level. So, hope that was helpful for those of you who wanted to know a little bit more about Excel. When the SSG and state comparison figures come, Steve, I think it might be worth us jumping back in there and helping make connections between those results and perhaps the last NAPLAN data set.
And I think that's going to be key, because that relative difference in performance will give schools an idea of how they're going. I know that we can't do a straight... There's some talk there may be a band analysis, but we won't be able to compare bands from 2020 to 2019 because they were done at significantly
No, but have a think about this. This is Year 5 data here. I've highlighted the students who got that question wrong. Perhaps we could go back to the Year 3 data in NAPLAN, like we did in Episode 8, and have a look at the students in the top 2 skill bands and just see whether they are represented in the students that got these more difficult questions correct.
And I think this is an opportunity for the classroom teacher to go through and say, little James Brigden, of course he got counting to 10 wrong. Yeah. The fact that it's a reaffirmment of what the teacher thinks.
That's right.
It's an opportunity to look at intervention and to cluster groups of students.
Oh, and surprises and disappointments and all of those things that make you go, yeah, all right.
Make you go,
Things that make you go, I think we'll end on that note. Thanks, folks. We'll talk to you soon.